The root cause of our suffering is because of the polluted aim of life, where we want to lord over material nature. That's the root cause of suffering. Before that, I spoke about the verse from 4th chapter Bhagavad Gita, where that Brijinam Santarishyasi, that verse, in the purport Prabhupada says, doesn't matter whether you are an expert swimmer. If you are in the ocean, there is the miseries that you have to go through. It's very intense. It's very intense miseries. It's not just because you know swimming doesn't mean that you can cross over an ocean. And the root cause of suffering. And what else we saw? I asked actually, what is your favorite subject? History tha kya? Social science tha kya tha? Hindi. Okay, some literature. Like that we gave all our favorite subjects, right? Same question when it was asked by Hiranyakashipu to his son, what is your favorite subject? He was expecting answers like this, social science, history, science, political science, whatever it is. But what Prahlāda Mahārāja told was, śravaṇaṁ, kīrtanaṁ, viṣṇoḥ, smaraṇam, padasevanam, archanam, bandhanam, sakhyam, dasyam, atmanivedanam, archanam, bandhanam, dasyam, sakhyam, atmanivedanam. That is what we, and then towards the end, that exact words, these are my favorite subjects, he says. So, now, today what we will do, we started reading the purport of that verse of śravaṇaṁ, that is what we will do. The exact word, the exact line which Prabhupada was writing is, in the ocean, however expert a swimmer one may be, the struggle for existence is very severe. The struggle for existence is very, very severe. The whole day today I have been out. I was just meeting when this house programs and they call people and you go there. And most people think it's an invitation for a house program, means there will be some puja. So there's a pandit who will come, he'll do some puja. And once the puja is over, there is feast. अच्छा खाने के लिए मिलेगा. वो टाइम पे पक्का पहुंचना है. बाकी वो क्या पूजा करेंगे वो उससे हमको क्या लेना देना है. What puja, what will happen, some pandit ji. We have respect, we will come, touch the feet, we will go. Actually, we don't understand what is the importance of the spiritual life. What exactly the hearing can do to us. I'll give you two instances before we go to the purport of the verse that we were seeing, śravaṇaṁ, kīrtanaṁ, viṣṇoḥ, smaraṇam, padasevanam. In that śravaṇaṁ, Prabhupada has given an elaborate purport, wonderful purport actually. I mean, we are talking about hearing. What exactly hearing can do. But before that, I'll give you two very powerful reasons about hearing, maybe three, and then we will go to the purport. So the first instance, which we need to know what is the importance and the power of hearing, is, when you, those of you who are familiar with Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna mentions this doubt to Krishna, when Arjuna puts forward this doubt, his own acknowledgement of his situation, chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramathi balavat dridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva suduskaram. Chanchalam, I have got a flickering mind. Who's saying this? The biggest warrior, the devotee of his time, the biggest warrior. His mind is probably the most controlled, he is devoted. Yet he is saying, chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramathi, maddening. Balavat, strong. Dridham, obstinate. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. If he makes noise, you can take him. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramathi, balavat, dridham. Tasyaham nigraham manye. It's so difficult to control this mind. Maybe I can control the wind. Tasyaham nigraham manye. Vayoriva suduskaram. Possible to control the wind. How will I control this mind? Arjuna, in a time which was in Dwapara Yuga, who's a devotee, who's the biggest warrior, he's saying this. We live with our mind which has got all the same characteristics in an age where there are so many distractions, where there are so many allurements, and we acknowledge this, yet we don't do anything about it. And what is the answer which Krishna gives? Hmm? What is the verse? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamsayam Mahabaho. Undoubtedly what you are saying is correct, Arjuna. Asamsayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. Abhyasena tu Kaunteya. Practice. We are aspiring to go back home, back to Godhead. We are aspiring for self-realization. And our activities, our efforts don't go hand in hand. So that abhyasa which the Lord is mentioning, Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. Let's see the purport of that particular verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. So this is the words. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. Now go to the purport. The difficulty of controlling the obstinate mind as expressed by Arjuna is accepted by the personality of Godhead. But at the same time, he suggests that by practice and detachment it is possible. And Prabhupada's question is putting a question on behalf of us. If in our mind we don't know what is that practice, Prabhupada is saying, what is that practice I have to do? What you are saying abhyas, what abhyas I have to do? In the present age, no one can observe the strict rules and regulations of placing oneself in a sacred place, focusing the mind on the supersoul, restraining the senses and mind, observing celibacy, remaining alone, etc. By the practice of Krishna consciousness, however, one engages in 9 types of devotional service to the Lord. The first and foremost of such devotional engagement is hearing about Krishna. First and foremost. And Prabhupada is saying, this is a very powerful transcendental method for purging the mind of all misgivings. Very powerful transcendental method for purging the mind of all misgivings. What do you see? You see what happens, people, they think in their list of things, in their things to do, the least priority is for hearing. So who are we? Whom are we associating with? What are we trying to do with our lives? Are we honest to ourselves? Are we sincere about it? Prabhupada is saying the first and the foremost of such devotional engagement is hearing about Krishna. It's a powerful method for purging the mind of all misgivings. Powerful transcendental method. The more one hears about Krishna, the more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. By detaching the mind away from activities not devoted to the Lord, one can very easily learn Vairagya. Vairagya is a byproduct of hearing, that practice. And practice is practicing to hear about Krishna. There are many interesting things Prabhupada is mentioning. There are 2 lines I will talk about it. This is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. That attachment is called Paresha Anubhava. Para Isha Anubhava. You want to know, experience the Lord in this conditioned state, in this forgetfulness state, you want to experience, by hearing it is possible. Practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. It is just like the feeling of satisfaction of forget the last 2 lines of this purport. Prabhupada is saying, hearing of the transcendental activities of Lord Krishna is therefore expert treatment for the mad mind. You want to control the mad mind? You want to know what is the expert treatment? Hearing of the transcendental activities of Lord Krishna is therefore the expert treatment for the mad mind. And eating the foodstuff offered to Krishna is the appropriate diet for suffering patient. So take prasadam, that is the appropriate diet. And then the treatment is, the medicine is hearing about the Lord. For the mad mind. What is the madness? Madness is, I know this. There is no need for me to hear this. I have heard this many times. What are they going to say? Śravaṇaṁ, kīrtanaṁ, we've been doing 26 times, 26 days are over. What else is there? So much is there. I'll tell you what all are there. Just to give you a glimpse, because these are all, why it is so important, unless one goes into this, he'll not just get this. Like most people outside in this material world, they don't get it. पुजारी पंडित जी आएंगे, भगवान के बारे में कुछ बोलेंगे, भगवत गीता से बोलेंगे. भगवत गीता सुने ना माता जी? भगवत गीता हम तो मथुरा से हैं, वृंदावन से हैं. Like that people say, think. In 9th chapter, which is entitled as the most confidential knowledge, Krishna says, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. What is confidential in this? Everybody thinks one day I'll get the Bhagavad Gita, or I have the Bhagavad Gita in my house. It is there in my shelf. One day I'll just take it out and read. What is the importance of hearing from somebody? I have the knowledge, I have purchased the book is mine. Anytime I want, I'll open this and I'll get to know. Why Krishna is using Raja Guhyam? This is a mystery. It's a confidential science. It's not something which can be understood just like that. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam, pratyaksha avagamyam dharmam, susukham kartum abhyayam. Very, very secret. These are very, very interesting thing which Prabhupada explains. And unless one hears properly, this knowledge will not penetrate the layers of ignorance, starting with our false ego, which always says, I know it. What Bhagavad Gita, I've heard so many times, so many people, what is there in there? What is Guhyam, Raja Guhyam. This is the most confidential knowledge. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam. So in that confidential thing, it always used to bother me actually. What is that confidential thing? And Sanchalpati Prabhu has given this example many a times, which I have also quoted, the example of the bank, where a person walks in and just goes to the teller and asks how much money is there in the bank. The person who is seated, maybe in an Indian scenario, and the person is completely encased there with sitting there behind that, and you go and how much money is there in the bank? You'll call the security, throw him out. So, what does he want? He wants to know the money in the bank, right? But the same question is asked by the bank manager sitting in the bank in some other place, and comes and asks this question, how much money is there in the bank? The person will see everything tally, pakka karke, this much, this dollars, this much cents. Question asked is same. What is the difference? One has the qualification to know the answer. Wherever Krishna mentions it is a confidential knowledge, he also tells what is the qualification required. Everybody cannot get this. First verse of this 9th chapter. What he says? Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. Jnanam vijnanam sahitam yajgyantva mokshasya subhat. So he's telling, I'm going to share, this is the most confidential knowledge. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. Anasuyave. A person who is envious can't get this. Wherever he's telling that this is a confidential knowledge, this is the most confidential knowledge, he also reveals what is the qualification which is required. And mind you, the secrets of learning Bhagavad Gita, which is revealed in the heart by the spiritual master, is we have to pay very close attention to some things which are given here. For example, in this verse, okay, before even I go there, what is the word anasuya? What does it mean? Envy, right? Anybody knows what is the definition of envy? Because it was a bothering thing to me. Many times I have seen this, and I think I've shared in some class. The definition of envy, if you see in dictionary, it is the resentful awareness of the advantages enjoyed by someone else and the intense desire to possess that. You have a nice car, wearing nice dress. I want that. There's an envy inside. And towards the end, when Krishna finishes Bhagavad Gita, He's telling there are 4 kinds of people whom you should not share this knowledge. Idam tu te na tapaskaya, na bhaktaya, ashrushave. There are 4 people. Idam tu te na tapaskaya, people who are not austere. Tapas, they can't do even simple austerity. Don't talk to them, this confidential knowledge. Then, na bhaktaya, who are non-devotees, don't share. Kadachana, na cha sushrushabe, who are not eager, and not even willing, they're not bothered. What is the Bhagavad Gita? Who, my life, I am happy, enjoying. Who are these people? Don't talk, they're not ready. Nacha sushrushabe, their eagerness is not there. And then, nachamam yo abhyashuyati, and a person who is envious. Very interestingly, why I am bringing this? Because in the purport, Prabhupada talks about the importance of hearing. But before I go there, if you read carefully a pure devotee's commentary, the word anasuya, if literally somebody who's a scholar of Sanskrit will translate as envious. Prabhupada's translation is envious of me, envious of Krishna. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave jnana vijnanam sahitam yad jnatva mokshase subhat. So Prabhupada's translation of that is idam tute guhyatamam. This confidential knowledge will be revealed to someone. I'm revealing it to you because you are not envious of me. Anybody should think, Arey, how is it that I'm envious of Krishna? I can understand, I'm envious of my neighbor, I'm envious of somebody else who's got some advantageous position, and as I gave you the definition, that is what is the definition of envy. That is where you have to read, because this is confidential. It's not some joke. It's not some time pass we have to do, some entertainment should happen, and then we go back. We all are actually envious of Krishna. How? Very clear. Krishna says, Bhuktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyantva mam santi marchati. Krishna says he's 3 things. He's the enjoyer, he's the proprietor, and he's the best well-wishing friend of everyone. That's exactly each one of us we want to be. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the proprietor. Or more. I want everybody should follow me. Give so much of rasa inside. Instagram followers, 2.3K. Right. I remember in Navinirat Prabhu, those of you who have met Navinirat Prabhu who has come here, I had gone with him to one minister for some work in Bangalore. And when we had gone to meet that minister, usually we go early in the morning, right, around 7:30 or so. But by the time we go there, there will be so many people who will be waiting. At around 9:30, that minister will come to meet us. 150, 200 people will be there. And then we have to take some approval, permission from them. So we have to go and meet and do some licensing work. One day we decided, Navinirat Prabhu is a very passionate person, right? He is night 12 o'clock also, he can go 1 o'clock also. So we went in the morning, early morning, around immediately after Mangalarti, we went to the minister's house. Nobody else was there, we were the first people. So we told the ministers, this thing told to minister, some people have come, the ISKCON people have come. So we could hear from the other side the minister saying, how many people are there? How many people are waiting? Only 2 of them. I said, make them wait. There is a rasa. Oh, so many people are there. And I want those followers. Everyone. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam. That is why we have got envy towards Krishna. As long as we have got this envy towards Krishna, we can't get this. This is confidential. You may hear Bhagavad Gita, you may read Bhagavad Gita, you may memorize also. You will not get it. So we're running out of time, so there are many interesting things. There's a very beautiful purport which Prabhupada gives the example of Narad Muni when he heard from the Bhakti Vedantis. There is something which happens, 9.2 purport, you should read that. I want to move on quickly and show something else. There's a verse which is there in the 3rd canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is our verse. Yeah. This verse says, Ye tu tvadiya charanambuja kosha gandham Jighranti karna bivaraihi shrutivata nitam bhaktya grihita charana paraya chatesham na paishi natha hridayam bhurat swapumsam. Extremely powerful. Third canto, 9th chapter, 5th verse. Yetu tvadiya charanambuja kosha gandham Jigranti karna vivarahi shrutivata nitam. Charanambuja is the lotus feet of the Lord. We know how the taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord is the ultimate way of getting out of this material world. The words of Bhagavatam 10th canto, Samashritaye padapallavaplabam mahatpadam punya yasho murare. You take the lotus feet of the Lord, the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord is the strongest boat which can help you cross over this ocean of material nations. But here it is mentioned, Yetu tvadiya charanambuja kosha gandham. You want to experience the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord? Then you have to take the fragrance, jigranti, karna vivarahi. Through your ear holes you have to smell that. How will you smell the fragrance through ear holes? Shrutivātanitam. You have to hear the Vedic literatures. The translation is very powerful actually. Oh my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the ears, accept your devotional service. Actually, the most confidential thing which is given in the 9th chapter is nothing but the position of the Lord and the importance of engaging in devotional service. This is the most confidential thing which the Lord reveals. That you can get. Persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the ears, accept your devotional service. For them you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts. If you are hearing constantly, so fundamental, can only be accept devotional service. Otherwise, what we are doing is just simply some namesake something, wishy-washy. Now let's see the purport which we were reading yesterday. There's so much to cover. Unfortunately, I got a little late by 5-10 minutes. But let's pay attention to this purport which we started yesterday. Śravaṇaṁ, right? Yesterday I was mentioning about this thing, this verse which we chanted. Let's chant this. Śravaṇaṁ kīrtanaṁ viṣṇoḥ smaraṇam pādasevanam archanam vandanam dasyam sakhyam atmanivedanam iti pumsarpita viṣṇoḥ bhaktischena navalakṣana kriyeta bhagavati addha tanmanye dhītamuttamam. Tanmanye adhitamuttamam. I consider this to be the best subject. This is what Prahlāda Mahārāja says. And we picked this Śravaṇam. Yesterday I just spoke about one line. And the first line that we took was so powerful. Hearing of the holy name of the Lord, Śravaṇam, is the beginning of devotional service. Mind you, hearing of the holy name of the Lord. One has to hear. We ask people, how many rounds you chanted? How many rounds are remaining to finish? We don't ask, how many rounds you heard? How many times you heard? Hearing of the holy name. Why Madhu Pandit Prabhu is saying so much? Why? He's understood the essence. You see this? If you are not hearing the holy name of the Lord, if Śravaṇam is not happening, there's no devotional service. It's the beginning of devotional service. You are doing service. But when you hear the holy name, then there is devotional service. Otherwise, it's an activity. It's just some engagement which we are doing. Hearing is so important. Actually, that is why yesterday I told the advice that I got long back when I joined ashram. A devotee told me, I asked him, how do I hear? What should I do? How can I be attentive while hearing? And he told that you take sufficient rest. I was thinking he'll tell me that do some nice morning sadhana, hear, read, something. It's a nice rest. It's a fact. You try it out. You sleep early and you get up. That freshness of mind when it is there and when you hear. Today, for some reason, I got up very early. Of course, there was 1 hour extra. So I took advantage and got up. The whole day, the consciousness is very different. You will not feel tired at all. You will not feel exhausted. Your You're talking, still there is no fatigue. This hearing of the holy name of the Lord is the beginning of devotional service. Let's read this. Unfortunately, the time runs out. But as much as possible, there are 3-4 very key points which I want to highlight in this. And which is very powerful, which Prabhupada is mentioning in this important section of śravaṇaṁ in this verse. Although any one of the 9 processes is sufficient in chronological order of the hearing of the holy name of the Lord, although any one of the 9 processes is sufficient in chronological order, the hearing of the holy name of the Lord is the beginning. Indeed, it is essential. He's talking about holy name only. In chronological order, the first most important thing, at least I should have a goal in every round, 16 rounds I'm chanting, in every round, I should at least hear 16 times. Out of 108 times, if I ask you, how many times you hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Mataji, kitna bar sunte hain? Try, but kitna hota hai? मैं बोल रहा हूँ 0 होता है कभी कभी. मेरा आपका नहीं. आप 2 बार सुनते हैं? Big thing. कभी सुनते हैं? अरे 2 बार करते नहीं, 2 बार सुनते हैं क्या वो होली नेम को? सुनते हैं. Very good. We don't hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. At least a goal of hearing 16 full mantras every round. I'm just giving you one. Although any one of the 9 processes is sufficient in chronological order, the hearing of the holy name of the Lord is the beginning. Indeed, it is essential and enunciated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is cleansed of the material conception of life, which is due to the dirty modes of material nature. You know what is this dirty thing in the heart, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is referring to? What is the dirty thing which is there? What is this dirty thing? Quickly. We don't have a lot of time. Anybody wants to go for it? What is the dirty thing? Ego? Envy? Because I spoke about envy. The dirty thing which is there in our heart as per Prabhupada is bhoga vritti. We want to enjoy. And the dirty thing will get cleansed. That means I will develop the desire to become a servant. The only enjoyer is the Supreme Lord Krishna. I am supposed to serve Him. That does it mean that the moment we hear the word serve Him, we feel, Arey yaar, I'll just serve. He's the enjoyer. What is happening to me? No, He reciprocates. He fills our heart with full bliss, enjoyment. By serving, taking the position of being served, as servant, we also get rasa. But right now we have this bhoga vritti. Chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is cleansed of the material conception of life, which is due to dirty modes of material nature. When the dirt is cleansed from the core of one's heart, one can realize the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha. When the dirt is cleansed, the core of one's heart, one can realize the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We chant this verse in Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadeva hridayeshu bilokayanti yam syama sundaram achintya guna swarupam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Premanjana churita bhakti. The Santa is always seeing the Lord in his heart. But because our heart is not cleansed, we are not able to realize the form of the Lord. By chanting the dirt when it is cleansed, I can realize that. Thus, by hearing the holy name of the Lord, one comes to the platform of understanding the personal form of the Lord. So, Nama leads to Rupa. After realizing Lord's form, one can realize the transcendental qualities, Guna. Then, one can realize the transcendental qualities of the Lord, and when one can understand His transcendental qualities, one can understand the Lord's associates, Jana. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Jana and Leela. In this way, devotee advances further and further towards complete understanding of the Lord as he awakens in realization of the Lord's holy name, transcendental form and qualities, His paraphernalia and everything pertaining to Him. If I talk to you that, if I go to some place like in Bangalore, or if I tell you that, when you visit to Bangalore, there is one devotee by name Krishna Das. He is the best devotee. He does this, he does that, he does this, and you have heard so much about Krishnadas. You go to Bangalore temple and you ask, who's Krishnadas? Who's Krishnadas? They say, oh, Krishnadas. You're looking for him, he's there. He's doing service in the kitchen. Then you go there, kitchen, where is he? He's gone out, he's cleansing the pots over there outside. Oh, he's there in the pot cleaning. You go there and you meet and find you somewhere, you finally see, oh, so Krishnadas, I've been chanting. So finally you see, oh, this is Krishnadas. And then the moment Krishnadas you see, Krishnadas bows down before you, pays a obeisance, and brings some prasadam and gives it to you. You see his qualities, he's so humble. So Nama, Rupa, then Guna, then Leela. You chant offenselessly, you hear. Prabhupada is saying, hear the holy name. Hear the holy name. Then Rupa will manifest. Guna, Leela will come. This is what is described here. There are many things in this. There are 4 stages of our hearing, which each one of us we have to go through. One is, the first stage is, we feel we have to hear. We have to hear. Means I don't have any desire, I don't know what to do. If I come for the prasadam time, they will say that, what, this person directly coming to prasadam? So I have to hear, I have to sit there. Right? That's not the ideal thing. The second thing is, when you realize that little, you further advance, you feel we must hear. We must hear means, I still don't have taste, but I'm now hearing so much that there is something in this, I must hear. The third thing is, we get to hear. Without this, our devotional life is incomplete, and we get to hear. And the final stage is, I love to hear, I relish, I look forward to hearing, I look forward to chanting, I look forward to that. That is the state that we have to go. But right now, we have to be here. But it is not bad. Still, we can improve, provided we pay attention. There's one thing, which is a big purport, very, very nice purport. We've 4 or 5 minutes we have, but I want to speak about few things. Actually, I want to go through the whole thing, if time permits, but I'll go in the reverse order based on how much time. But towards the end, Prabhupada is talking about something which is very nice. And he's saying that in this connection, this last line of that śravaṇaṁ, in this connection, Sridhar Swami has remarked that a pure devotee takes advantage of another devotee by trying to hear from him about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord. If there is no such opportunity, he alone chants and hears the Lord's holy name. Now just read the first line. In this connection, Sridhar Swami has remarked that a pure devotee takes advantage of another pure devotee by trying to hear from him about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord. What is striking to you in this sentence? और एक बार मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, सोच के जल्दी बताओ. In this connection, Sridhar Swami has remarked that a pure devotee takes advantage of another pure devotee by trying to hear from him about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord. Huh? Okay, hearing is there. Who said taking advantage? Okay, good. Huh? Okay. Read there, no, where is association morning program, where is it written there? Read the sentence. Taking advantage is one line, one thing which he found. Anything else that you see which is striking? Hearing, somebody said. Huh? Who said hearing from devotees? Okay. So, okay, hearing from, anything else? No. The important thing here is, Sridhar Swami has remarked that a pure devotee, even if a pure devotee he is, he's taking advantage of another pure devotee. He wants to go and hear. There are examples of this. If you read the prayers by the personified Vedas, right, the last chapter of Krishna book, in Janaloka, there are all people who are pure devotees. But amongst them, they select one person, Sanat Kumar. And Sanat Kumar is giving class and they're all hearing. If there is a opportunity, even a pure devotee takes advantage. There is an advantage of that. By trying to hear from him, by trying to hear from another devotee about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord. Classic example of this. When Parikshit was about to die and he was there on the banks of river Ganges, Sukadev Goswami comes and he is about to begin to speak. Who was present there in the assembly? Narad Muni was there. Who else? Vedavyas was there. Who's Vedavyas? Vedavyas is the spiritual master of Sukadeva Goswami and father. Who's Narad Muni? He's spiritual master of Vedavyas. They were also present. So that's when it is mentioned in Bhagavatam, when Sukadeva Goswami walked into that arena of the assembled sages, everybody stood up except for these two, Narad Muni. But you see how eager, how important they were present before the speaker. You see how many people walk in? Not here, everywhere. Why? This is not the right attitude of listening. In a place it is mentioned, it's an acronym called Raga. If you really want to hear, if you want to take it seriously, if you want that the hearing should transform you, it's not, because it has to be submissive, it has to be attentive. There are so many things. Like I was giving the example in house program, if they think that it's a ritual which is going to be performed by some Panditji, they walk in slowly, one after another, after another. The program, like the host was telling today in the morning where I went, that he had all the people who had confirmed, he's put them in one WhatsApp group and he's sending reminders. Today also multiple reminders he sent. Everybody has said, it's 11 o'clock the program, everybody said 11 o'clock everybody will be there. I reached there at 11:07. There was one person before me. After that, there were about 40, 50 people who came. Everybody, 11:15, 11:20, 11:30, 12, 12:15, 12. They kept on coming. Why? Because they don't know how to hear, but we should not be like that. First R is for respect. Respect for the speaker. Whoever it is. You want to hear, not for, you're not doing any this thing. It's a must. If you don't hear, devotional service doesn't begin. And there are so many things. As I said, it remains as a mystery. It's a confidential knowledge. Respect for the speaker. A is appreciation for Bhagavatam. This is not different from the Lord. It's not some optional thing. I should have appreciation for Bhagavatam. The subject matter is, it's in this purport also Prabhupada mentions about that. G is gratitude. Balram Prabhu, when you give class, how much time you take to prepare? 3 hours. I don't know. How much time you take? 5 hours. Panduranga? 3 hours, 5 hours, somebody is preparing. It's not easy, right? Have gratitude for that. It's not to put things together. Somebody is sacrificing something. I also prepare. It's not like I come somewhere, something, and I can speak. Respect, appreciation, gratitude. And the last thing is application. We hear, we forget about it. We don't remember, we don't apply it in our life, and we struggle. These are some of the secrets of hearing. How even pure devotee, even Krishna takes pleasure in hearing. There are examples which are given in the scriptures. Why we feel we are so special that we should not hear? Why should we come late? When we know that this is important, why can't we be there at the beginning? These are all attitude. And this fineness in that attitude, when we hear it, it works. It will work. The process works. It's a guaranteed thing. Bhagavatam won't lie. Prabhupada won't lie. Why is he stressing? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, the first thing I noticed about Abhay is he doesn't want to miss. He's very expert in hearing. He wants to hear. There's more to do, but we have already run out of time. Thank you all for coming, and this is just small effort in how we can intensify our own devotion in life. Nobody is there to find faults with anyone. It's not the business. If you take it in the right spirit and see how do I intensify? How can I do Tibrena Bhakti Yogena? Where is it that I'm getting sidelined or distracted? If that is the goal, then this will definitely help if you see this properly. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki, Kartik Maha Mahotsav ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.